So we saw the MySuper option over, for example, the last year returned 13.94. Over the 3 years, the fund returned 9.14, and over 5 years, 8.89, which makes us amongst the top handful of MySuper options in the country, and the 3-year numbers are top quartile. So Australian rates at 0.75 are very low. Unfortunately, other than increasing house prices and equity valuations, we don't think they've had that much of a stimulating effect. In fact, we would hope that there'd be more fiscal policy, i.e. tax cuts or more spending by the governments to stimulate the economy. We do think, however, because of the bushfires and the recent coronavirus, there may be the markets are pricing in one more rate cut to 0.5. But ultimately, we think fiscal policy is the one that will work, not rates in this environment. What Statewide's doing, particularly in light of what's been happening with climate change and particularly the recent bushfires, is to look at our overall modelling and look to model our assets and our exposures due to adverse climate events. So we started doing this research recently, and there'll be more coming out through during the course of the year. For clients who are really concerned in terms of ethical investing, we do have a statewide sustainable diversified option, which screens out a lot of the carbon fossil fuels and does also ethical investing in terms of animal welfare and armaments, alcohol and tobacco. Always people ask us, what are your top predictions for the year? And we write extensively about this. We think it's really hard to predict events. And in particular, we've already had 2 events that have impacted the Australian economy, and we'd say the global economy. First was climate change and the bushfires that have had a pretty devastating effect across regional Australia and affecting a lot of areas in the cities in terms of how you can breathe and how people can get around. The second large event that's more recent is the coronavirus. That's what we call a black swan event, which is highly unpredictable. Now, mostly these things do come and go. The first one being climate change is something that's longer, that's with us. But the second thing being the coronavirus is a short-term event, which will affect markets, but we're fairly well positioned in terms of diversification, and we think we can ride out these types of events. From time to time, events hit markets, and in particular, more recently, there's been the coronavirus, which looks like a global pandemic. We've seen this before with the bird flu, the SARS virus. And what we would say is these things do come and go, and they hit the markets pretty hard, but it's very important that members stick to their long-term plan, stay diversified, and if there are any concerns, please call us or talk to our financial planners, and they'll make sure that they can get the right information. But a really key part is sticking to your core mission, and that is making sure you're ready for retirement.
The advice in this video is general advice only. It may not be appropriate for you, and we recommend you obtain independent financial advice and consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.